Hello everyone, hello and welcome. How are you all today? I do apologise yet again. I scheduled all of this and it all disappeared. Just the way it goes, so I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. Please say hello and let me know that you're watching and that you've got this, because the schedule didn't go out as it should have done. So, have you had a wonderful week, or have you had a challenging week? So, the moon and its combinations, lots and lots of different ways of reading the moon card when you fuse a minor card with a major card such as the moon. And so I've got some examples of that. Do ask for any requests of certain cards that you would like me to actually use. Out of the 56, I've got them all in there somewhere and we can find them for you. Right. I hope, sorry, I've realised that I haven't turned off my air conditioning and that's been picked up. Can you believe it? Sorry everybody, but that's going to interfere with the sound. And I'll be back in a mo. So I'm going to move to So I'll just pop that up there in the link for you, so you should be able to see that. There we go. And now I need to be able to send that, don't I? Hopefully. Postal. Yep. There you go. Hopefully you'll be able to get that now. Things don't seem to be working the way I want them to, but what's new? It's live. So who's watching today, and have you got anything that you'd like me to actually answer about the moon card or anything to do with your readings, as in where I can help you, and or you can share something and you can actually help our viewers and me. We're all learning all of the time, of course. So the moon card, it's one of those cards that I'm going to say does actually make people feel a little bit like, what am I going to say about this card? Well, the moon links to Pisces. It's all about emotions. And so when it comes to the emotions, it's one of those things where I would actually say to you, no matter where it comes up in the actual reading, there you go, that looks as if we've got that now. No matter where it comes up in the reading, it is going to be about emotions, because that's what the card actually stands for. Right, let's have a look. I'll read that later. Thank you very much. Somebody turning around and just inviting me to actually spread the word a little bit more as into streaming. No, you're not bothering me. Announced Visk. I'll read it later. Sorry. I'm a bit busy right now. Sorry about that. So if you want to come on as a guest and just ask some questions or share your insight with others, it's absolutely all about what you can give to someone else. Sorry, I'm getting a message here from Annie. Let's have a look. What's wrong? No. Okay, we're on now. Okay. Passionate Saji, Annie, wanting to know, are we on? It's because the posting didn't actually work out the way I wanted it to. There's been an update with Ecamm, there's been an update with my Mac, there's been an update with the internet, so I'm sure we're just getting a few teething problems. Bear with us. What's it all about? So let's just say that we are looking at the moon card, and it's always about the emotions. So if this comes up in the physical self, if it comes up in the intellectual self, if it comes up in the spiritual advice, in what's happening now, it's all about the emotions to some degree, because that's what that major card is all about. And it's been disrupted and it's been distorted, and we look at the minor card to find out what that influence is. So what does the suit of swords tell us? It's all about communication, or and the lack of, maybe, or the struggles with. Ace of Swords here, so let's fuse that Ace of Swords into the moon card. So let's say that the person is saying, can you tell me what's actually going to happen in the next few months? I want to focus on me, and I'd really like to know how things might go with my career. Just look at a little bit of that for me. So we'll say that we're going to look at this in their physical self. Again, I would say straight away, the moon card tells you, despite the actual position being physical, that this is about emotions. Why? Because the moon is about emotions. Your second card, Ace of Swords, is telling us about their thoughts and what they're communicating to themselves and how they're communicating outwardly. Now, the moon card, I think, would be a way of saying, if you look at it in astrological terms, might be wise to actually say, okay, you know what, it's how we're perceiving, how we are experiencing what's going on, and how we are experiencing it within, emotionally. Because emotion is about how we're feeling about things, right? So despite, I know that's confusing, we're in the physical position, but we've got an emotional Major Arcana card, and we've got a communication or mental process of how they're thinking and how they're communicating. Remember, it's with the self and with others, despite the fact it's in the physical position. When people sort of want to know, what does the physical position mean? It means how things are actually, it's what you're pushing out there. It's where you're going, what your actions are, the actions that you're taking to actually put one step in front of the other every day, and how you're actually navigating life. If it was all emotions, it's like you're not doing anything, you're just actually having you're dwelling on how you feel. If it's in the mindset, it's about what you're thinking or how you've been influenced on what's going on around you and how that's actually affecting you. The spiritual self is the insight into really what's actually happening, and what doors are opening for you based on how you got to where you are at this point, and if you keep going like that, what it's likely to lead to next, and what other influences and opportunities might be coming your way. Maybe it's a red flag to say stop doing that, because if you do, you'll be able to go this way, or keep doing that, because if you do, you can carry on and grow even further. So that's the difference, all right? If you want to find out more about that, that's all on my courses on the website tarotwithemmemarie.com. You can see it in the logo underneath me there. All right, so we would say that this combination is actually about how this person is communicating with themselves and with others. And in this regard, being an ace, it's a brand new thought. So maybe where you've been feeling a bit muddled and a bit emotional and maybe looking on the darker side of things, you're now having a bit of a breakthrough. You're going, you know what, I don't need to feel like this. I think I've got it. I think I'm actually being triggered by X, Y, and Z and what they said and what I said to them. And I need to let it go. It is what it is. And I need to make peace with myself. And I actually have two sides of the story. So forewarned, forearmed, I'm actually going to move forwards. And this is what I'm going to do. So that's a new way of thinking, the communication with oneself, to actually say, it's good to go internally and see how you're processing everything. How do you feel? Let's say somebody at work, and this was a work question, and you've got this, and what's that got to do with work? Perhaps they've been too emotional. Perhaps they've actually been really looking for things that aren't there. Imagine slights, maybe in their communication. Maybe they're taking it sensitively. Maybe they're too deep. Maybe they're actually turning around and feeling that, everything leads back to feeling a bit down, a bit scattered, a bit unsure of things. So if this came up about work, you would actually turn around and say, look, you've gone within yourself, you've come up with a new plan. Yep, you're still weighing up the pros and cons. Why are you weighing up the pros and cons? Because mentally, all right, the Ace of Swords cuts both ways. It's a positive, negative to a new beginning. So if we go, gosh, I'm going to sort of go for promotion at work, you'd go, right, well, that means I'm going to have to dedicate my time to studying and actually working out what's next and how I've got to go about that, how it's all going to happen for me. Okay, so lots of you watching tonight, thank you very much. Sorry, the actual schedule seemed to have gotten a little bit confused tonight. Hey ho, what can we do? I posted up the invite for anyone that wants to come on and actually join me or ask a question. Just ask a question, feel free. And don't be shy, we've got a lot of really lovely, compassionate, kind, really, really dedicated people that are interested in tarot and this platform of mine. And we'd love to hear from you. Okay. Let's move this on. Okay, so straight away people go, you know, and you know, sometimes people say, you know, I really want to do tarot, but something's not sitting right with me. And you know, one of the biggest reasons that might be, I'm not saying it is it could be your cards, could be a method, could have been, you know, the fact that you're just going intuitively, or maybe you're trying to memorize things, could be the amount of cards you're using. You know, I can help you and maybe give you some suggestions. The reason that I would be able to help you is having sort of helped a platform of over 200 people on circuit lines be able to go about their own, shall we say, self-employed discovery of doing the spiritual work as their day job, maybe part-time or maybe full-time. I was able to offer that support. So, you know, it's probably not, might be something I've never heard of before, but I know what you mean. But one of the biggest reasons that sometimes people feel that they can't move past where they are now is they feel very stuck. And when they think of a tarot reader, it conjures up perhaps some of the, you made it. Hi, Passionate Saji. How are you doing? Passionate Saji here, one of our moderators. And she said, oh, I'm not sure what I'm doing. She's lovely. So really give her a very warm welcome. And thank you so much for that. And we've also got Zoe when she's on here. And we've got Anthony. And we've got Onder and quite a few people that moderate for us. Basically, Passionate Saji, if someone's asking for some help as to, you know, oh gosh, I can't find it, where is it, how do I kind of come on as a live guest, or I only want to ask a question and not be a live guest, you could perhaps just give them a moment if you've got a minute. I know you're working as well, so that's why there's so many of you, so it's not falling on one's shoulders. Back to my point, because it's a very big statement. One of those things that I feel that we all get overwhelmed with and go, I'm not sure I want to be a tarot reader, because we're conjuring up that we are predicting the future. And that's what we've been led to believe, that you have a tarot reading and they're going to know what you had for breakfast, what you did, what that bad thought was, everything about you, that they can read you like a book. Actually, and you're going, I can't do that. Good. Because that's not what it's about. It's about being able to translate the cards and interpret them in a way that you feel that you are giving impartial advice, following all of what the cards are telling you. And one time you might say, well, why don't I say the same thing with that same card for everybody? Because it has multiple layers and multiple meanings. So one thing I'm going to say here is, here's one of those, and the reason I mentioned what I just mentioned was, Three of Swords makes people go, I want to take it out of the deck. I don't even want it to come up, because if it does, I'm going to be so down that I can't change the outcome. you know, that this is my destiny, this is my future, there is nothing I can do to change it. That is not how a tarot reading is. A tarot reading is some signposts, a bit like looking at a satellite navigation system and deciding which route you're going to take based upon where you are. And if things are not looking great, if the road's blocked, and I'll talk to you about the Three of Swords, and let's say you're assuming that's what that card means. It doesn't, by the way, but let me just say that you're assuming, that's there. It's actually, if it was a case of that means roadworks ahead, you're going to get stuck in traffic for hours, you've got a choice, haven't you? Oh, I'm going to carry on and make the most of it. Or I could get out of this now, do a U-turn, find another alternative route, or actually just postpone the fact that I'm taking this trip on this day at this time. So this, you know, I'll go later, I'll go another time. Or I am going to go, but I'm not going to go this way. And let me see. Yes, I'm going to be delayed while I actually navigate an alternative route. That, you know, is really what a good tarot reading will help you come to the conclusion of. Your perception, it will give you, shall we say, the map for you to go, well, I could that way, or that way. That's really what it's about. So do not feel that you've got to provide somebody's destiny, your intuition's got to feel it all, or that you have got to have all of the answers. And you know, sometimes people say, can you answer this? And it's like, it's not actually in the reading. Number one, would you like me to actually shuffle again? And I'd like you to rephrase your question. Or would you like to ask another way? Quite a lot of the time people come on and they go, in for a reading, that's on their phone of course, yada yada yada, this has all happened. And I've heard everything they've said, but I do not know what they want from that reading based on what they have just told me. And they could have told me for 10 minutes, half an hour, 5 seconds, whatever it is. Yeah, let's say, you know, I'm at work, I've had a really bad day, I want you to look at this person, no I don't know, and I want you to look at this, and I want to look, am I wasting my time in this job? Should I be moving? I mean, should I give up on this, or should I actually keep going? Because you know what, based on how I feel at the moment, I don't want to go back in. And you know what, I was hoping for promotion, I need more money, you know what, this person seems to have their favourites, I'm not one of them, I don't know how I'm ever going to get that, this kind of thing. And I go, okay, I heard everything you said, and how would you like me to look at it? Quite often they go, I don't know. And I say, okay. And then they go, hang on a minute, yes I do. And then they might say, is that person that's giving me a really hard time going to leave off? Or is the person that I'm actually working for ever going to recognise me? Or am I actually capable of doing this? So then they now know, based on what they're saying, how they're going to ask this. That's not for me to decide. Sometimes they go, I don't know, what do you think? And I go, well, shall I just shuffle? And they go, I know, it's going to be this. If they really don't know, I could say, well, would you like me to look at how it's going to be around you? Or do you want me to look at your work colleagues? Or do you want me to look at the opportunities at work? And we're not necessarily just concentrating on where you're working now. You're giving them choices, they will pick one, they might go all of that. I'm like, okay, here we go. And that's why putting out so many cards, I'll be able to look at those other people, I'll be able to look at what's coming up for them in work further down the line, we'll be able to look at timing, that's always a difficult one, but don't worry, it's fairly easy when you get the hang of it. So, back to this combo, all based on everything I've just told you, Three of Swords is, and this is where there's a lot of confusion, and every book at times will perhaps contradict what I'm going to say. But I use this, up to you what you want to do. There's no right or wrong way. But let me tell you, in my experience of 30 years, the Three of Swords actually is past heartbreaks. So what does that mean? A prediction of the future? No. Oh, it means it's predicting that it's going to happen. Remember what I've just said to you. Nothing is predicting. we are looking at the current situation, the background effects, and the subject matter of your question and how it's affecting you in the physical self. Your question was about work. Okay, the card we've got is you're feeling a little bit up and down and really a bit negative most of the time based on your emotions and all my hunches. And our emotions and hunches can get very confused and feel like the same thing, and we cannot decipher between the two. So the Three of Swords is based on previous heartbreaks that's affected you at work. You've been very emotional. Now it's a time to actually use those situations, that how you communicate, to remember that in the past, if you carry on and repeat that, you'll probably get the same outcome. If you are able to look at that and go, actually, you know what, at work, I followed into that knowing that it had happened. And the Three of Swords is, it's not just one big thing that's happened. Remember, this is about work, okay? It's several. How do we know that? There's 3 swords there. We can't put a pincushion on there, but it might be a pincushion. It means it's happened a couple of times, at least 3. So this might be something they're repeating. You know, emotionally, they may be a little bit sort of, I don't want to say paranoid, but you know what I mean. They may actually be a bit emotional, a bit touchy, a bit sensitive, and be taking communication in the past. Perhaps, oh, I'm sure they meant that. I'm sure they meant I'm not good enough. I'm sure they meant that, you know, I'm not in their little clique. I'm sure they mean that I'm actually, I should do more, I should do better, and, you know, my appraisal's not going to be good. Well, if you believe that, you're actually attracting that, aren't you? And if people think that you're a bit sort of, you know, if someone says, oh, you did really well, and go, oh, I don't think I did, you know, they're going to stop bothering. Because you're talking them out of it, and they're going, okay, you know yourself best, perhaps I got this wrong. So really and truly, it could be about your previous communication was quite negative. Maybe, you know, the moon makes us scattered. It makes us very sensitive. It makes us touchy. It makes us feel that we have been spooked, as it were, and looking for things that may be not there. All right? And swimming round and round in circles. Why that? Does anybody know why I'm saying that? I'm going to move on to another card, but I'm going to leave that question out there. Does anybody know why I'm saying the moon card is about swimming around in circles, even though there's nothing on that card that actually really perhaps tells you that? It's knowing something else, okay? I'll leave that out there. I'd love someone to actually try and answer that. Okay, can somebody remind me if nobody actually comes up with the answer, and I don't want to leave you hanging. I will get carried away. Okay, I'm very talkative, as you know. All right, so this one, okay. A double bubble again, and I'm going with communication because I want it to be the fact that our thoughts can influence how we feel. Our feelings can influence how we're thinking, and that's what's going on here. And it's happening in the physical self. So it doesn't mean, oh, well, I had a bad dream or I had a bad thought. It means it's actually happening, all right, in their actions, all right? So that's what this is. So 5 of Swords. 5 in tarot is always a little bit, should we say, tricky. You've got to navigate. You're kind of wading through things in a certain way. You're halfway. You know, in the suit, any suit, in the suit of swords, communication and mental process, you've got 1 to 10, ace. So ace is new beginnings, 10 is completion, 5 is midway. Once we start to actually think we know what we're doing, we start encountering some bumps in the road, some obstacles, things that, forewarned, forearmed, we can overcome. You know, nothing stays put forever. The universe won't let us. We're meant to actually, even if we actually decided to be a hermit and go live on a mountain, we'd still be challenged with the weather and finding something to eat. There's always something for us to make us grow. All right, that's kind of just how it is. So if we look at the fact that the Five of Swords is struggles with communication, that's what it means. The moon, you're a little sensitive. You're swimming around in circles for some reason, for whatever reason. Emotionally, you're probably choosing to see things as if there's a problem, or they're a bit frightening, or they're making you feel a little bit bad about yourself. You're projecting your emotions of how you're feeling and thinking, this is what's going on out there, or what they're doing is affecting me. It's probably both. All right. So how does this relate to work? Well, perhaps, things have actually made you feel a little oversensitive, where you've maybe felt that people are in, like the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is the card of feeling that, maybe people are in cliques. Maybe they are being a bit unkind, a bit harsh. Maybe they are kind of gathering together and excluding you. This kind of thing. So it's that. But, there's always the way of looking at ourselves and going, if that's happening, what am I doing that maybe is causing this? Is it the vibe that I'm sending out? Or is it the vibe really that's actually the reality of the situation? Okay, sorry, I'm moving a bit closer. I think I felt a bit ghostly there. My lights are on. So, anybody know why swimming around? I'm going to answer it because I hate actually leaving somebody in the dark, and I do give you a chance to answer. So nobody's bitten yet. It's because it relates to Pisces. The moon card astrologically links to Pisces. A lot of people associate this card with Cancer, and there's a very good reason for that. The moon rules the sign of Cancer. But in actual fact, this card actually goes into the astrological association of Pisces. So Pisces with the moon, it kind of means that, like those two fish that can be like this, or in some cases astrologically, got that wrong. There you go. Sometimes we see the fish doing that, going upstream, yeah? There's two ways astrologically that we can see this. So we can see it as in that, or we can see it like that. Neither one is wrong, by the way. Okay, it's just a system, various systems, various schools of thoughts, and where it's actually kind of come out from. So the reason for that is it's kind of showing that Pisces, the two fish, imagine two goldfish, perhaps swimming round and round and round and round, nowhere to go, emotional, watery world, dreams, blowing things out of their imagination, out of their emotions, really struggling with their thinking, really struggling with maybe their communication with others. Can be a two-way street. Be very kind how you actually sort of suggest and go, maybe people think because you're a bit shy, that maybe they're mistaking that for maybe the fact that they feel that you're not very interested in what they're saying. Oh, no, not at all. I just don't want to go barging in. Perhaps that's how they feel. So this is about communication. It's about work. How do we know it's about work? Because we've got a question and we've got to stick to that. And we don't go off point and go, oh, I see, that you're going to be bullied by, this or that or the other. It can mean a card of feeling bullied. But the bullying, because of the suit, if it was such a thing, it's in the communication. It's verbal. There is nothing physical. So nobody's kind of had a punch up, or the argy-bargy has maybe been a bit sort of, maybe they've been a bit off. Maybe they've actually cut you out and kind of excluded you or gone into their little clique. That happens in work situations without people even meaning to or being aware of it. Or sometimes it's deliberate. So, it's like, so well, how do I answer it about work? In order to make progress in how things are, it's about being a little bit less sensitive to the influences going on around. Try to actually have it as water off a duck's back. Try and actually look at, maybe they are in a clique, but you know, what can you do to make a contribution? And you know, if you're actually interested in progressing up the ladder, it's probably nothing to do with your colleagues. It's more to do with your superiors, that you need to actually make sure that they're not getting anything like this from you. Concentrate on the right people. If you want to make progress, you've got to impress the right people. That's not your colleagues, that's not your underlings. It's more about, it's getting on with everyone, of course, but stop being so sensitive, really, and don't read things into things that aren't there. And if there is, well, be the bigger person and actually go, you know what, this is not going to affect me. I'm still carrying on. Okay, any questions, anybody? Anything there that you would like me to actually have a look at? Right, I'm going to jump in and show you this. It's the moon card, so I hope it plays. If not, I'll just jump to another scene. Where is it? Dreamy. Okay, let me move the PDF along. It's just how when I change scenes, I just have a copy of the scene so that I don't have to go up and down the ladder in my Ecamm. Last but not least, I brought a court card in. Again, we're sticking with the same question unless you want me to change it. Everyone does love and romance. Sometimes, you know, that's a little bit easier than a work question. You go, gosh, I've got the moon card and they're asking about work. I actually think that, you know, I don't know what to say. And King of Swords, what on earth? Fuse the two together. When you've got a court card, a little tip, use the Major Arcana card and put that into your court card. So, what's the King of Swords mean? Well, he's a serious character. Who is he? It's the person having the reading. It's an aspect of them. We're all different aspects of everything. Sometimes with a child, sometimes with a boss, sometimes we are the student, sometimes we are the one that knows more than anyone else. A king means that they've earned the right to have some sort of credibility, and the suit sorts. So if this is about someone asking about work, this is a great combination. Okay, it's showing it's about them, King of Swords. All right, how is that good? Because a king means that they have developed this sense of maturity, and the swords in their communication, in how they're progressing with other people, in how they are thought about. And the moon card, it shows that in actual fact that you are somebody that is very aware, very sensitive, but in a very positive way. So you're sensitive in the way you're communicating with other people, and they take you seriously. I'd say this is a really lovely combination. It shows that you have empathy in a serious way. It's not negative at all. Yeah? If you were to look at it as in the moon's been fed into the King of Swords, so if the moon's been fed into you as a person, and you're somebody that's really good at communicating, and you know, you've walked the boards and you've got all the qualifications and the exams, and you know exactly what you're doing. It's like how am I viewed at work? The moon card's saying that they find you somebody that's very sensitive, which is full of empathy. There is a feeling that, you know, you are somebody that goes with the flow of things. It's also a case of that there is a deep understanding that there is, you know, maybe that you're struggling, compassionate in some way, Why? Because it links to Pisces. It's linking to the emotions. You cannot touch Pisces without actually saying there's emotions. You cannot touch the moon without saying there's emotions. Why? It's a magnet pulling on us, linking to Cancer, the astrological sign, which is sensitivity, you know, emotions. Don't forget that the moon card also links to, you know, illusions and delusions. So it's like this person's really taking things on board, and they're probably really creative. This is a really nice combination. How does it help at work? It's more or less talking about how people perceive you. That's how. All right? So, predictions. Remember what I said. It's not about predicting. It's about saying the current facts. Oh, so how's that going to help me? Well, you're seen as somebody that's really empathetic, serious, sensitive, you know, and a great communicator. You might be sort of seen as you don't share everything all of the time. That's not a bad thing. Somebody that's actually supposed to be your boss, you don't want to know everything about them. They're meant to be your boss. There's a boundary. And that's also what this card's about. All right, let's just move this along a little bit more. Okay, let's bring in some cups. Combination that we've got going on here. Can everybody hear me all right? Thumb up, please, or heart. Just wanting to know. I know people are watching. Where are you watching from? Twitch, hi. My page, hi. And YouTube, wonderful. Nobody on Anne-Marie from Escienza page on Facebook. And for some reason, it wouldn't stream into my group, but that's because Meta are phasing out allowing multi-streaming. What that means is things like Zoom, Ecamm, gosh, I can't think of what the other one is. Ah, hello, my lovely. How are you doing? Margaret, say hi to everybody. It's lovely to see you. Thanks for remembering that I mentioned I was on. We had a chat about that earlier, didn't we, Margaret? Lovely to see you. I'm glad you're here. Don't forget to put on the notification. Play along by all means. Lovely Margaret. I think Tony's here as well, Margaret. Well, I know he's busy. Right, so what's this combination mean if you were trying to read the cards and you got this pair and the person's saying, what's going to happen to me at work? It's like, okay, right, you've got the Moon card and you've got the Six of Cups, all emotional cards. Six of Cups is you're somebody that is seen, shall we say, as being very innocent, very pure, very kind. Also, Six of Cups is, if you're looking for an apology, this is the actual card that would definitely, there you go, Margaret. Carla's saying hi to you. Oh, you're a lovely lot. You're so nice to each other. Lovely. Oh, you're welcome. Also, Passionate Sachi, I just meant to say to you, I will get back to you. Read what you were asking me. Okay, Carla's just reminded me by popping on. Got possibly a potential, but I can't be sure. Okay, so lovely. Right, so back to this one. The Moon card coming up here, being a little bit sensitive, a little bit emotional, a little bit sort of like, oh, I'm feeling triggered a little bit by things that scare me or make me feel that things are not going so well. You know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Well, Six of Cups is actually saying, look, you know, this is a time of actually really being nostalgic, really going with, when we are children, it's a lot less complicated than when we're an adult, isn't it? A lot less complicated. So why don't you look at things in the way of, you know what, if you're feeling a little bit hurt or a little bit sensitive right now, this time will pass. Also, Six of Cups, by the way, is also about nostalgia. And it's probably saying that, you know, someone from the past is probably going to come in here and help you. Good old friend. And you might go, I don't know anyone. Yeah, it'll probably be coming out of the blue, You might not have seen them for ages and ages, and here they come, popping back into your world and turning around and giving you the hand of friendship, okay? And not to be suspicious of that. Sorry, I'm going to adjust my AirPod. Could feel it slipping out. Okay, so this is somebody from the past that's probably going to come in and help. And also, if you've had sensitivities at work, it feels like this will come back to you, where in actual fact, it's a sorry. 6 of Cups is always a card of apology. So don't forget that. All right, lovely. Right, just having a look at what's going on there. Lovely to see everybody. Right, let's have a look at the PDF that might be able to help you. All right, oops. Right, so this is something, I'm sorry, I can't get rid of that. I've done it now. This is something that'll be able to help you. It's the book that I'll show you in a minute. That just actually really just gives you a lot of the meanings of the cards if you're trying to learn. I've just kind of highlighted what it all means for you there. So you've got the moon, you've got the pillars, you've got the dog, you've got the wolf. If you missed the tutorial the other day, please go and have a look at that tutorial all about the moon. We did a very big sort of 40-50 minutes talking all about that card. And here, you know, lots and lots of different pages, they're all in there, I've done them all for you. All 78 cards, woohoo! And what is it you're looking for? If you go into the website, it's the Tarot Symbolism Workbook Journal, okay. Right, I'm also going to show you this one. Back to me. Okay, so that was just some of the decks that I have, and I put it together for you. The main reason to actually do that is they're pretty, it's lovely, and it gives me a moment of not just talking. It can get pretty lonely here, and my voice starts packing up because, of course, I'm talking all the time, and I'm talking on the phones all day as well. And most of all, this is, where was I? Lost my school of thought there. Yeah, I put that on there just to show you that different decks can indeed be really beautiful, and they can speak to you, and they can really bring something out that resonates with you. So by seeing different decks, you might go, I have to have that one. It spoke to me, I connected with it, it did this. Sometimes that happens, and you see a few cards, and then you suddenly go, I love it, but I really find it hard to read with. You know, it's beautiful, but I feel a bit stuck. That's when to just get a different deck out and maybe go for something like the Rider-Waite reason that Rider-Waite is used for teaching, and I absolutely agree with this, and you can see that. We have just got the Radiant Rider-Waite deck on show for you now, because it's pretty, is it's rich in symbolism, perhaps unlike the interpretation of, shall we say, different artists. I hope that makes sense to people. You know, it's really rich in symbolism. What does everything mean? The children, purity, innocence in the Six of Cups. You know, one of the children handing over a cup with a flower. Straight away, it's like a gift of out to play, or, you know, we fell out, I'm sorry. The house in the background means it's a place of safety. It could be, it's all to do with childhood. It's not about having children, it's about your childhood. And it's about being able to connect with your inner child. And it's okay sometimes. The Moon card is a card where people go, it's all about illusions and delusions, and maybe feeling something, but we are so unsettled that we start to blow things out of proportion. So really, probably, this combination is about saying, you know, well, if you're expecting a sorry from somebody, you're going to get it. If you're expecting a peace offering from somebody, you're going to get it. And that's going to make all the difference. You're going to feel less sensitive. You're going to feel valued. You're actually going to really appreciate this. And it's a token of friendship. So that's what this combination is. And the reason for showing the cards is, you know, you may not be getting with your readings the things that you want to get based on the deck you're using. Okay, sorry, I seem to have an itchy nose. A surprise. Everything means something. Right, I'm going to say that Passionate Saji asked me a question the other day that I thought was really good. She's been doing the courses, and the courses are available on my website. I'm not going to show you them tonight. You know where they are to find them. They are all individual. You can do beginners, where we go through the major, the minor cards. You can choose the wands, the cups, whichever you want. And the court cards I've done separately, just so you could focus on them, because I know that people go, oh, we can help you. Don't drop them. They're great. If you want to come back to them, do so. Do it all in your own time, no rush. And on the website, it's there forever. You can go back to it forever. Okay, that course is yours, and that's it. So, Passionate Saji, I remember you saying to me, okay, I don't know. I've got old methods, and I just don't know if I can actually adapt. Don't push yourself. If you are picking up and enjoying this, maybe just season what you're already doing with a pinch of this. Don't feel that you've got to overturn what you're doing completely for this. Some will. If you're like me, I was like, yeah, this makes sense to me. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to stop. But there are also baby steps. So I think you were saying that you actually use a card and then you use two clarifying cards, maybe from another deck or maybe from an oracle deck. That's fusion. So you're already doing that, is what I want to actually say. So if you use clarifying cards, it's very much like this system. The difference with the system is by having the suit, cups or wands. I know I've not done any of those, but we're nearly running out of time, and I do like to actually just sometimes show lots of examples, and other times to just take the time to actually help you out a bit. So yes, the suit will tell you what the background effects are. So you might get an oracle card and it's saying, oh, you need to pay attention to your dreams. Well, that's pretty much like what the Six of Cups is doing here. You need to pay attention to past times, to friendships. Somebody from the past probably going to say sorry, probably going to offer you a peace offering, you know, in some way. And how's that going to help you at work? It's going to make you feel much more settled, and you've got their support. So all support is actually going to help navigate the way forwards. Let's just take it a little bit along here. So that's another court card. Let's give it a little bit. And another. This one. So you go, oh, that doesn't look good. He's got a bandage on his head. Well, the Nine of Wands is about almost completing and realising that, you know, maybe you're defending something that really and truly, and this is in actions, because the Suit of Wands is actions. So maybe your sensitivity has been so busy defending something that really and truly has probably already, that's it. There's no saving it, you know, you're going to have to just give it up, because you're going to have to go with the flow of what other people. This is about really being in that place of defending something that actually there's not much point, but you're going to do it anyway, and you just need to kind of know, you know what, the army's coming to kind of get me here, and I'm just going to stand here and let them. And it's kind of been a little bit like that. I'm battered and bruised from it all. Battered and bruised from actions, from putting in so much. So it's a card really here of going, you're just going to have to kind of let it pan out the way it is. You're not going to change. This situation will change it for you. And yeah, you know what? You will get to conclusion. Again, it's also about how you're feeling about that. You know, you may be actually just not really seeing everything. That's what the Moon card does to us. We start to let our fears just take over. So it's probably not time to make decisions when you're feeling sensitive, emotionally triggered, seeing things maybe and reading things into your sensitivity, or I'm sure they meant that, you know, I don't know if I upset them, I don't know if, you know, this or that or the other. That's what the Moon card can be like. The Nine of Wands is actually being probably standing there and kind of going, you know what, I know they're going to kick me out. I know they're going to kick me out of this, and they're going to actually give that to somebody else, and I'll have to move, and it's not really fair, but you know what, I'm not going to just walk away. I'm going to wait until they actually ask me. Or maybe that's what you think, because the Moon card could be projecting that you're absolutely certain that's what's happening. And what about the fact that in actual fact all your hard work could be recognised, because they can see that you've really worked hard, and that the Moon card has told them that your empathy is there, that your sensitivity is there. And in actual fact, we'd go along and look at the other cards and maybe see that what you're actually anticipating is just the Moon triggering you, and not what it's about at all. In fact, based on current circumstances, you might be in a situation where you get a pentacle where things are starting to manifest. Okay, I know it's starting a little bit late. That was not intentional. It's just simply because I came on and it's like I can't click on to come live because my post has disappeared. So everything that I posted out there for some reason just disappeared. I think Passionate Saji said that she felt that maybe the post was something for yesterday. No, I do, under all circumstances, unless it's something beyond my capabilities, which could happen, but it would not be my choice to go for another day, even if it was whatever was happening. I'd either record it for you or just skip the week. I wouldn't mess about with the days. So it'll always be Tuesday or Thursday as far as I'm concerned, unless something forces me. But yeah, I'd never kind of confuse you like that. I'm either here or I'm not. It's either recorded or it's live. Yeah? Or, you know, we all need some time out sometimes, but I wouldn't come on another day. I might come on as an extra, but not instead of, because that would be inconsistent. Okay, any questions, anybody? Nobody's come on as a guest tonight? Oh. Thursday. I wonder if anyone can guess what our next major card will be, as soon as we're going in chronological order. Does anybody know what that actually will be? Hi there, watching on Twitch. How are you doing? Just say hi. We'd love to sort of have you along. It'd be lovely for you to say hello before we go. And if you are watching on Twitch, There's been a couple of occasions recently where, I'm going to say this because it is, you know that some of the tarot's images have naked people. Well, I got banned on Twitch because of the star card, because she's naked. So it banned me for 3 days because it was offensive. I think it's just the algorithm that's just stopping bad things happening. And, you know, I took it completely with the pinch of salt. And I totally respect that there shouldn't be pornography or anything like that, and I wouldn't want to upset. But unfortunately, the nature of a lot of artwork in tarot and artwork in paintings and certain things, yeah, they painted people nude. By the way, what does that mean? It just means that it's about feeling that in tarot, that's an expression of... Good job, I'm not sensitive. I think that my web developer, yeah, I got banned, naughty girl. Tonight I had to make sure that I was reconfiguring, because Twitch is, it goes out to anywhere you want it to. And I kind of like to set it out to New York. Just feels like that's a great place to actually connect with directly, and I love that. I didn't know anything about New York apart from my grandparents met and married in New York, believe it or not, even though they were both from Ireland, and they met however many thousands of miles that actually is from Ireland, when they were neighbours from 2 different counties, very close like that. But it took New York to actually bring them together. And 2 sisters married 2 brothers, so yeah. And yeah, that's where I get my Marie from in my name. My grandmother's first name was Marie. So I'm named slightly after her, and there you go. And the Anne comes from my mum's middle name. So there you go, that's why they hyphenated my name, Anne-Marie. Okay, so yeah, I got banned on Twitch. My point being that Facebook Tonight, the group, it wouldn't allow us to actually stream in there. There's all sorts of rules going on about wanting to directly stream only to Facebook. So we're going to actually not be able to go in there and multi-stream. And I cannot go, let's do Instagram, let's do Facebook, and let's do that. Well, there's just not enough hours, and you can't. Oh, that's life, darling. Don't worry. No problem. Okay. I'm sure we'll hear there's bits and pieces. Not at all. I can totally understand. You're working. Totally understand that. So, I know what I wanted to say. We are going into spring, 20th in some places in the world, 21st of March in most parts, but depends where you are in the equinox. So, spring, perfect balance and harmony between night and day, depending on where you are in the world. So, I do hope you have a beautiful spring equinox, and wishing you everything that you wish for yourselves. So yeah, my point being, I would move over from Facebook to YouTube if you want to keep watching this series. I would move over from Twitch for the same reason. I got banned. I cannot help the fact that the artwork got me banned. You know, I can't show, oh yeah, I could pick another card. How am I going to describe what it means to you if I'm using, my whole point of teaching you is the rider-waite will speak to you about the details, and I'm not going over what we did the other night because that would be a repeat. There's no point in you watching a repeat. Tonight I'll just show you how to work with the moon card. So Thursday 5 p.m, don't forget, join my YouTube channel. It's not about subscriptions, it's about you don't miss a thing. You know, you'll find everything there. That's not going anywhere. And you can go back and find everything I've done. Trying to find things in my Facebook page and my Facebook group. It's a nightmare. The only other news I have is if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see me popping up there doing vertical live streams. And also that allows me to multi-stream into YouTube in vertical streaming, which is basically shorts, but it's not a short because it's going to be a live stream, but it's called vertical streaming. Oh, New York is 3,200 miles from where? From where? From Ireland? Depends where you're standing, Tony. Ah, Margaret, I'm sure that, yeah. I hope you've had a laugh here, Margaret. I know Margaret's been feeling a little bit sort of battered and down. We'll chat tomorrow, I promise. Okay, and yeah, I've got my new glasses today. I don't know why I said glasses. I'm from the north, we say glasses. So yeah, I got my new spectacles today. 1 or 2 pairs. But there's no point in me putting them on for streaming because my computer is here. I don't need them for the computer, I need them for driving and the television. And now that I'm in my second Saturn return this year, I need them for close-up work. If you don't know what that means, go and have a look and that will tell you just how long I've been on this planet. Right, I'll see you all on Thursday and next Tuesday when we're doing combinations. I've got a message here. Oh, from my home. Ah, from London then. Got it. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks everybody. For those on Twitch, hop over. From those on Facebook, don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do it, hop over onto YouTube. Honestly, I've got enough subscriptions, but I don't think you can be notified when I come live if you've not subscribed. You get it, yeah? All right. And do have a brilliant spring equinox. Until the next time that I see you, I wish you all the very best. And I know that Passionate Saji was saying that she missed all of it, but don't forget, I do put all of this into the replay. So the replay you can go and watch, which just means it's the version that you've seen, or I put out in a playlist on my YouTube channel all of the lives that I've done, and I edit out all the fluff where there's messages because, you know, you don't want to watch the same thing twice. What I do is try and put the highlights together. So my point is, do look out for us on the odd vertical live stream coming in on your feed on your phone and also on Instagram. All right, so look out for that. I'd love your support. Be really nice for you to join us. There's a couple more people joining in tonight. Sorry, we're just coming to the end of it, but thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves, everybody, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.